Have you ever felt trapped by your own success? Like you're walking down a path you never chose simply because you were too good at it to stop. You look at your life, your career, your skills, your reputation, and while everyone else sees achievement, you feel a quiet, growing sense of claustrophobia. You're not failing. In fact, you're winning. But you're winning a game you no longer want to play. And the reason you can't leave might be the very thing you've always been told is your greatest strength. It starts early. You're the one who just gets it. Whether it's a complex spreadsheet, a difficult conversation, or a new software, you pick it up faster than most. People start to rely on you. You become the fixer, the reliable one, the person who can handle anything. And because you can do it well, you keep doing it. You climb the ladder, you take on more responsibility, and you build a life around these competencies. But somewhere along the way, your utility began to replace your identity. You stopped asking, "What do I want to do?" and started asking, "What am I good at?" This is the competence trap. It affects your decisions because you choose the path of least resistance, the one where you're already skilled. It affects your relationships because people see you as a resource rather than a person. And it affects your self-talk, which becomes a relentless loop of, "I should be grateful, I'm good at this, why would I throw this away?" This isn't just a career crisis, it's a psychological phenomenon known as the sunk cost of talent. You've invested so much time and effort into becoming good that the thought of being a beginner again feels like a death. You feel like a squatter in a life built by your own hands, stuck in a cycle of high performance and low fulfillment. If you feel this way, you are not ungrateful and you are not broken. You are experiencing a very real psychological conflict. This pattern, this tendency to lean into what you're good at, is actually an evolutionary adaptation. Your brain is designed to seek efficiency and minimize risk. Doing what you're skilled at is safe. It provides predictable rewards and social validation. But what was once a survival strategy has become a cage. Your talent, which was meant to be a tool for your growth, has become the boundary of your existence. You've mistaken your utility for your identity. The good news is that the same brain that built this trap is capable of unlocking it. You don't have to set your life on fire to find yourself. You just have to learn how to separate who you are from what you can do. To understand why we get stuck, we have to look at the brain's reward system. When you perform a task you're good at, your brain releases dopamine. This creates a feedback loop. You do the thing, you get the reward, you do it again. Over time, these neural pathways become like superhighways, fast, efficient, and hard to deviate from. This is neuroplasticity working against you. Your brain literally finds it physically easier to keep doing the thing you hate than to try something new. Think of the pedestal metaphor. Your competencies have placed you on a pedestal. From up there, the view is great and everyone is cheering, but the pedestal is narrow. If you move, you might fall. The higher the pedestal, the more terrifying the descent. This is coupled with loss aversion, a psychological principle where the pain of losing what we have, our status, our skills, our good at everything label, is twice as powerful as the joy of gaining something new. We also face the identity-utility fusion. Your prefrontal cortex, which handles your sense of self, has been fused with your motor cortex and functional skills. You no longer see yourself as a person who does accounting or does management. You see yourself as an accountant or as a manager. When your utility is your identity, quitting isn't just a career change. It feels like an ego death. Your brain perceives the loss of a skill as a loss of self, triggering a threat response that keeps you paralyzed in your current path. Breaking free from the competence trap requires a deliberate recalibration of your relationship with your own skills. Here is a psychologically grounded framework to help you reclaim your identity. Step 1. The utility audit, cognitive decoupling. What to do? Make a list of everything you are good at. Then, next to each item, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 for joy and drain.
Identify the high competence, high drain activities. These are your traps. Why it works: this uses cognitive reframing to separate your skills from your value. By labeling a skill as a high drain, you stop seeing it as a pure asset and start seeing it as a cost. This weakens the sunk cost grip your brain has on that talent. Real life example: you might realize you're an expert at conflict resolution, but every time you do it, you feel exhausted for days. Recognizing this as a drain allows you to stop volunteering for it just because you can do it. Step 2. Practice purposeful incompetence, growth mindset reactivation. What to do: pick one small, low-stakes hobby or skill where you are a complete beginner, and stay there. Allow yourself to be bad at it. Don't try to optimize it or turn it into a side hustle. Why it works: this reactivates the growth mindset and teaches your brain to build new, non-optimized neural pathways. It breaks the dopamine addiction to being the best and teaches your nervous system that it is safe to be a beginner. Real-life example: start learning a new language or a musical instrument purely for the sake of the struggle. The goal isn't mastery. The goal is the feeling of not knowing what you're doing. Step 3. The beginner's hour. Identity expansion. What to do: dedicate 1 hour a week to an activity that has zero overlap with your professional skills. If you're a coder, go gardening. If you're a manager, go to a pottery class. Why it works: this creates identity complexity. Research shows that people with more self aspects, different roles and hobbies, are more resilient to stress and less likely to feel trapped. You are teaching your brain that you exist outside of your primary utility. Real-life example: instead of spending your Sunday evening prepping for work because you're good at it, spend it doing something that makes you feel like a curious child again. Step 4. Values-based filtering, prefrontal recalibration. What to do: before saying yes to a new project or role, ask, am I doing this because I want to or because I'm the only one who can? If the answer is the latter, practice the strategic no. Why it works: this engages the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for values-based decision-making. It shifts your internal compass from what is efficient to what is meaningful. Real-life example: when asked to lead another committee because you're so organized, say, I appreciate the trust, but I'm focusing my energy elsewhere right now. Your brain is like a master craftsman that has spent years building a beautiful, intricate house, but just because you built the house doesn't mean you have to live in it forever. The competence trap is the belief that your skills are your destiny, but skills are just tools. A hammer is useful, but you are not the hammer. You are the one who decides what to build next. The goal isn't to stop being good at things. It's to stop letting the things you're good at decide who you are. Take a breath. Look at your hands. They are capable of so much more than just the tasks you've assigned them. What if the most important thing you ever get good at is just being you?